You said you got arrested with 3 guns pointed at you once, Dick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like every time I see, it was the last time in Vegas, that guy who's like just hanging out in his room drinking, and then he got arrested. He wasn't doing anything. He got arrested, and he's in the hallway trying to pull up his shorts when the cops unloaded on him. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember
yeah.
that happened. Everybody was laying in. Well, a couple people, I guess. I don't know how many were criticizing the guy for not conforming properly to what the cops were telling him to do. But it is very difficult because for one specific reason. I was in high school, and the cops were called because I had a couple fake guns in my car for a rally at school. You know, a pep rally we were doing. This is the lamest ever reason. The lamest reason to be pulled
Your
over by
pep
the
rallies at school had guns? Is this
Fake guns.
Well, we were doing little skits, little stupid skits where our rivals, the Cowboys, were coming out and walking in, talking trash to our football team, telling us that we don't play as good a football as them, and
You're right,
whipping
this
everybody.
is pretty lame.
Yeah, very lame. Very lame. Anyway, I had all this crap in my truck. Somebody saw it, called the cops, and as I'm pulling out of an equipment rental place in the middle of the day, I check my left. I check to turn left. I see a cop with a gun pointed straight at my head. And I lean over and check to the right, and I see a bunch of cops screaming to a stop. And I think, okay, that was definitely a cop with a gun pointed at you that you saw on the left. Why don't you give that another check? Turn over, and it's like I'm a kid. I'm 16 or 17, and this guy is screaming at me to put my hands on my head, stop, get out of the car. Like, it's just this cacophony of various versions of stop, get out of the car, take your hands off the wheel, put your hands where we can see them, put your hands where we can see them. And I'm sitting there realizing, okay, I'm nervous. I'm looking at this guy. I'm nervous because I don't know. At this point, I don't know what the hell the problem is. I think like maybe there's a terrorist or a spy loose in America who looks like me with like a mustache, and this is like a case of mistaken identity. But I had the very specific realization that this guy is way more afraid than I am, way more nervous than I am, and if I do a thing that he has already in his mind that is wrong, I'm probably going to get shot. Yeah. So as much as I know how to put my own car in park and turn it off, I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure that me turning my car off will look probably very much like whatever bad thing he thinks I'm going to do is. So I'm looking at him like kind of through a plate of glass that is my car window. All the windows were rolled up in my truck, and I'm mouthing to him and kind of pleading with my eyes, dude, I need to put the car in park. Like, I can't follow. I know that you have a very specific set of orders and things you want me to do, but if I do them, my car is going to roll into the street. I got to put it in park. And by that time, I've got him who's a couple inches away from the driver's side. I've got another cop over. This is in Valencia, California, too. So it's like Pleasantville. Like nothing ever happens up there, but a bunch of bored cops who think they're living in the Wild West. I've got him right here. Another one in front of me. It's just swarm time, like they like to do. So I do. The other ones are screaming different instructions. Put it in park. I get the car out. Or I get out of my car. They put me in handcuffs. You do brace for the extremely excessive tackle that you're about to receive, which is fine because for all they know, I'm Jackie Chan. I'm gonna start doing flip judo moves. And then they spent like the next hour, because I guess they were embarrassed by what they did. They spent the next hour going through all of my stuff and making fun of my high school books. Like, oh, look at this book, guys. It's called Sons and Lovers by like James Joyce. I wonder what's that about. I'm like, motherfucker, I don't want to read that. That's not. You're not going through my diary. The fucking government. You guys told me that I had to read that for some reason. You're the gay ones, not me. You fucking pricks. They found like a bottle. They found a little bottle of Tylenol where the label had worn away. Like, what's this? Like, I don't know. Is it related to the fake gun call that you got and all got your testosterone pumping through your system? You fucking bullies.
I had cops with too much testosterone give me a heart. We were driving home from roller skating, right? I'm a freshman in high school. Very cool thing, by the way. And we had a good time. Like, we had a blast roller skating, and we were driving home in a truck. Like, it just had a front seat, and we were 3 wide in it, and we were like dancing. So I'm not driving. The guy was going a little too fast. Not a lot too fast. Call it like 58 and a 50 or something. Like, reasonable. But the cop sees us, and he turns his lights on. No, he turns around. So my friend makes a right-hand turn before the lights are on in hopes that the cop will, like, lose track of him or something like that. That doesn't happen. So the cop catches us on the side road. He turns his lights on, and my friend immediately pulls over. So it turns out my friend had like another speeding ticket, and since he's a young driver in New Jersey, if you get 2 speeding tickets, you can lose your license, and they're much stricter with probationary licenses. Anyway, the cops start treating us like we had done something super bad. They're very upset. Keep your hands like in the air the whole time, and I guess they're on edge because my friend tried to pull a fast one a little bit, and that's
They're
why
on edge just because he tried to escape.
I didn't know any of this. I'm naive and I'm young, and I literally thought that this was all about dancing in the car. I thought that was our offense, and
Like
I
Footloose.
we were just like, I don't know. There was some clapping involved. Like, I don't know why they're upset with us. So they're like frisking us, and they made me take my winter coat off, and it's cold out, and they're checking all the pockets.
Get your ass out here, Kevin Bacon.
I thought dancing was our offense, and they find this like little plastic container in my coat, and they're like, "What goes in here, huh?" And I'm embarrassed by it, so I'm instantly like, "Oh no!" Like, he's got the plastic container. Fuck. And they're reading me on this, and I'm like, I don't want to tell them at first, and they're like, and they get it out of me that what it actually is it's for like a orthodontic appliance. Like, I was gonna get braces soon, but I'm kind of embarrassed that I need braces. I don't know what I'm thinking, and if you smell it, it smells like bad breath. Like, that was an unavoidable side effect of a thing that holds orthodontics.
Smells like shit in here. Fertilizer, making fun.
Yeah, so that's how the conversation went almost. They're like, what goes in here? And I'm like, I don't really want to talk about it. And they beat it out of me, and I'm like, it's for an orthodontic. and they're like, they don't believe me. And I don't even know that they think it's for drugs. Like, that's not even on my head. I don't do drugs or whatever. And I'm eventually like, if you smell it, it smells like bad breath. Like, that was my evidence. And the guy did, sure enough, and this is horrifying for me. And, they're checking.
This is that purple ginger
Yeah,
They're
Highway
checking-
60, we're gonna need emergency services. This boy's got a serious case of shit mouth. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Halitosis we've never seen.
They're checking all my coat pockets, and eventually they're like, what happens if I find something other than, like, I don't know, your keys in these pockets?
Bad breath.
And I was like,
Banaka.
I was like, if you find anything in there, then you can keep the jacket, because I don't know what he's negotiating for, but I'm so confident that the pockets
You
are
said
in.
that?
Yeah.
You said you can keep the jacket.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, this guy says I can have his jacket.
No, if he finds something in the pockets, like, you say?
This is last Wednesday.
He's like, this was...
Yeah, you were probably like 16 at the time.
14, 13, early in my freshman year.
Oh my god.
No.
Well, no wonder you were scared.
Yeah.
So that's about where it wrapped up. He checked my coat, and somehow after he had finished checking every pocket and we had gone through the whole orthodontic appliance conversation, they got a more accurate read on who I was and let us go.
This kid getting braces.
yeah.
He's not
There's
causing any
something
trouble.
wrong with him. Always young.
Well, we can't charge you for not getting laid.
Which I would have been so guilty of. But yeah.
Oh.
A friend of mine got arrested because you're making a cop smell your stinking orthodontics. Made me think of this. He gets arrested a lot, so he knew what he was doing. Cops asked him if he had a weapon, and he said, well, he's had a knife in his, I don't know if remember if he said in his underwear or by his groin. So the cop frisks him and gets a big old handful of his ding dong, and then looks up at him and he says, I don't feel a knife. And he goes, yeah, but you did just touch my dick. I'm like, oh my God, man, you are. And he's like, it's fine. You're already getting arrested. So they can't do anything more. I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
Oh,
Does he think that's pulling one over on him?
Yeah. You know, like, I'm not a complete loser in this. I already got a small hand
I
job.
fooled a man into grabbing my dick a little bit. It's like, wow, man, that's gonna get you a lot of cred on the inside.
I tricked a cop into licking my asshole. Whoa!
Yeah.
He's the king of the prison, man.